I should probably wear the shirt. Does it matter? And we're live. Ooh, it's been a minute. Oh, no. Well, it's been a few seconds.
Everybody's getting notifications as we speak that we're live.
Yeah, that we're live.
Which probably means nothing to the 5 people that are subscribed to our channel. We're asking you.
That was good.
We're asking you to subscribe to our channel. If you're watching this, hit the subscribe button. It's a fun time.
You know, but Lee and Sherry, I don't know that I understand what you guys talk about. It was interesting because we get more people that find us later on that when it's time to find us.
It's funny, yeah. I've been watching your videos for a year now. We get a lot of those. You know, the ones that I find really interesting, the ones that have been watching a year of torture
for a couple of years. That is interesting.
Yeah, that's 2 years of torture.
Because they really sit and they kind of go back over and they watch certain things and then they get a lot of certain things on it and they go, this is different. Wait a minute. And then they'll go back and they'll watch something. Then they'll ask some questions, which I think is awesome.
Yeah, it's cool.
Because we kind of put it all out there. Mm-hmm. Everything. It's not easy being vulnerable. We get it. Believe us, we get it.
Slide is hard because the camera's up here and I want to look down.
I know, and I keep looking over at you because I love talking to you.
Because my neck.
Oh, you found us last month? Oh, well, welcome. And did you watch our journey? Because it's, we, and our journey still continues. And we still go through every day or every moment twin flame stuff, right?
Every moment of every day.
Yep. Oh, we love you too.
It's fun.
I think for me, I've always wanted to really talk about this. What would you say is the single most powerful thing in our connection made you wake up to see me all the way inside? I know that sounds like a strange question, but
the most powerful thing about our connection?
Yep.
What was the second part of the question?
Well, what is
because I'm calculating my answer.
Oh, Jesus. So I guess the question is, what in this connection, because when you see me, you can see all the way to the core and everything that we learn about each other, even now, because we still have like these dialogues and we still have these deep talks. And I think a lot of people know that I say things that are like, Sherry, translate, please. But it's almost like, how did we go day to day doing that? But do you notice that every day you still are learning something deeper about me because of the connection?
It's the transparency of the connection.
I like that. I love that. Oh, yeah. Thank you.
It's definitely the transparency.
Transparency.
Yeah.
Is it easy to be transparent in this
Very
connection?
easy.
It's easy to see transparency, but is it easy to be transparent?
It's not easy to be
transparent. It is not easy to be
but
transparent.
It's definitely easy to see.
It is not easy to be transparent in this connection, and it's not easy, and we still struggle. Well, not struggle. We're better at vulnerability now than we were.
Oh man, you are. I still really struggle with it sometimes.
But you make it easy for me to be. Do I not make it easy for you?
No, you do. It's just, I don't know what it is.
Okay. So what questions you guys have? Let's pop them up there.
But I love being vulnerable.
I know. I love it when you're vulnerable.
I love being vulnerable.
You know what? Your vulnerability turns me on.
Yeah?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and when it appeals to my divine masculine more than you could possibly know.
Gotcha.
So I don't know if that, I know that it's probably true for a lot of men that when we see vulnerability, it brings something out, but it also brings out a very strong sexual nature.
Speaking of sexual nature, I mean, let's tell them what we just did.
Oh yeah,
So if you like the shirt, you're really going to like it in the next video we post.
I asked her if I should change the shirt.
No, because we just did a twin flame. Wait a minute, this isn't going to sound right. I was going to say we just did a twin flame sex video.
I'm like,
wait a minute.
No,
we didn't do that. Yeah. And we're never doing that.
I pulled my shit off. This whole room get dark.
That's enough.
I'm sorry.
That's enough. Listen. So, are you kidding me? So we are doing a 2-video little series on twin flame sex and answering some questions.
Yeah, it was a group thing
It was,
few weeks
yeah,
back.
in our relationship reinvented twin flame work group on Facebook. Somebody asked us to do the video, and then they started asking questions. Posting that video later today,
Yes.
as soon as I get it downloaded and together. We're going live here, and then we're gonna be live in our twin flame work group after this. So if you're in our twin flame work group on Facebook, we'll be over there after we get done here. And but we wanted to come in here after we recorded our video, and then say hi, talk about some things.
Mm-hmm.
But if you happen to have any questions on twin flame sex, put
Save
it here,
for that video.
or save it, and we will, or put it here. We will answer it in that video.
Because we're going to be jarring a lot of what you're probably, when you watch the video, I believe we really spoke in a really beautiful way about it, and it may really kind of open up some things that you probably want to look at on the inside, but it will probably raise more questions doing that as well. So hopefully you guys love the video. We never watch our videos, but that's a whole other different dialogue. Okay, so
I'm gonna say this because the name isn't gonna match up, but she knows who she is.
Oh.
And no worries, Kim, we got you.
Okay.
Nobody knows who that is.
Right.
So
do signs like seeing or hearing your TF name or numbers a confirmation that this is the person for you?
To me, it's a confirmation that I'm in the right space, that I'm in the right place, right? So, without saying things that I don't want to say, like, oh yeah, that's your twin, or oh, that's not your twin, right? Because we both feel like nobody should ever be able to tell you who your twin is. That is not anybody's job but yours. We don't know how you feel inside or how those people feel inside. So we can't jump into you and tell you how you feel. You can tell us how you feel, but we can't feel that. We feel what we feel towards each other in that connection.
Yes.
So we can't tap into yours because we're not connected to you in that way. So here's the thing. When you see, I don't know, when you're with your twin or you see signs, symbols, whatever, to me, that tells me that I'm in the right space, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you've watched our videos, you'll know that when Lee and I had our, it wasn't even our last separation, it was the separation before that, who forgot to turn the...
You did.
Yeah.
It's okay.
There's no way I can blame you either. It's my computer.
Yep.
Man, that sucks. So anyway, when we had our separation, it just blew my mind how I would drive down the street and just start bawling because then everything was Lee's famous recipe, Lee's shoe repair, Lee cleaners. I walk in the store, there's Lee press on nails, there's Lee this, there's Lee that. And I see those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And to me personally, I knew that it just, I don't know, it to me was confirmation that I was seeing the right things, that I was feeling the right things. Now, at that point in time, I was like, okay, universe, I get it. I screwed it up. I messed it up. So I get it that he's the one I'm connected to. Thanks for all the signs and symbols. That's amazing. Whatever. Right? Because when we're together and I'm with you, we cruise by the same places.
Mm-hmm.
We cruise by Lee cleaners all the time. You even mentioned going to Lee's shoe repair yesterday.
Yeah.
Right? We had Lee's lawn service. Okay? Up till this year. We had Lee's lawn service. Not this Lee, random Lee. Okay? It just happened that way. And I just felt like, to me, it was validation that I was in the right space. Could it have been the universe going, Lee, you probably shouldn't have done those things.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay, get it. Got it. Good.
Wow.
Right. So, but you know, it's the space I was in at that time.
Right.
Like I was pissed. I was pissed at me because I had done some things that made you run.
Mm.
And so that's just my personal take on it.
That's I like your take on it. Mine's well, of course mine's always going to be different. To me, it was really interesting because early on I was getting all those signs. I would see your name all over the place. I see your name in different places, but it wasn't. It was always like, go there, think about her, reach out to her, call her. I wonder if they're thinking about me, all that. And then all of a sudden something deeper showed up that said that you were always with me and I didn't need to look for you because you were already there. Then it was really interesting because then all I saw was 1111. I saw twin. I saw all of these other things that started to show up because I had accepted that you were with me no matter what I did, no matter what I said. And you kept telling me that over and over. And I didn't really get it because I didn't understand the aspect of the non-physical being with you versus the physical being with you. And when I wasn't with you, all of those signs kept appearing as a reminder, I think, for me, that you're with me no matter where I am.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the more beautiful way that I see it now and even experience it now. Like when I drove the other day and I drove past it and saw Sherry and it's like, oh, and so it was almost like I can have a conversation with you because I just saw that you were here with me.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that's what you go through,
mm-hmm.
but you literally could. I still see the 411. I still see 911. I still see your birthday. I still see my birthday. I still see 1111. I still see all of these things, but I'm seeing it from both of our eyes, not just my own. And I believe that's when I really feel you the most is when those little things show up. So confirmation, or is it just pointing you back to what the actual truth is, which is you're connected and they can be with you anywhere you're going to. Mm-hmm. Oh, good morning. Let's see. Love your videos. Question, is running something that always happens? TF and I don't seem to be experiencing that at all. Is it possible that we did a lot of work before really coming into contact?
Man, it sure is. It sure is. If you go into this after doing a lot of inner work and clearing a lot of things, that's the reason that we created Root Camp. That's the reason, because what was happening in the beginning was we were getting a lot of messages from people who didn't know how to make, I don't want to say make this happen, but help the process along, right? Mm-hmm. And we kept saying over and over again, you've got to do some inner work. You've really got to clear out a lot of this old shit that's going on. Mm-hmm. And there's reasons, right? Mm-hmm. You're going to get with someone you're connected to. It's very powerful, right? But the triggers, the triggers.
Yep.
And I'm going to be completely honest here when it comes down to even physical 3D things. If you watched our videos, you know that I was sexually abused as a child. My stepfather, who, by the way, is so completely opposite of Lee. They are completely on different sides of the spectrum. If you think John Goodman, but just a lot devilish. John Goodman's a great guy. I'm just, his image is very, very similar to this man's. I would take John Goodman any day. He's awesome. But as a stepfather, but
right.
As a good guy, but image wise, he looks weight up and down just like that, but he's very similar. So he's very opposite than Lee. However, I can see it depends on if Lee wears a white t-shirt, just a plain white t-shirt. There's a trigger in me and they look nothing alike, but there's a trigger in me. Because he would come home and take his dress shirt off and just wear a white t-shirt all day, and that's usually what he was wearing. There's certain words that'll come out. That hasn't happened to me in either the other two marriages that I were in or any relationships I was in. There was never any similarities. I was in a physically abusive marriage, and the physical abuse was different than what I got from my stepfather. Right. There were no similarities. There was nothing there. So that kind of thing is going to make you run.
Yep.
And
or become triggered.
Inner things that you really need to clear out face, understand there's never healed. It's always in healing. But as long as you have that in the cycle of healing, right? I talk about my sexual abuse all day, every day. It's healing for me. It's in healing. But should you have done that, a lot of that inner work? It's the reason why when we do group camp with a twin who's been in separation, all of a sudden the other twin shows up. It's because you're doing that inner clear. It's not magically, and Sherry doesn't perform magic.
No.
We don't have magic spells that we put on people. I haven't heard from my twin in 12 years, and the 4 weeks in a root camp, and all of a sudden they email. It's because you're connected and they feel that clearing. You're going in and you're removing all that junk. If you've done a lot of that before you've come together, there may not be any of that.
But you could also still experience disconnection in yourself, which causes separation.
Very much.
And that's why this root camp itself is very powerful, because it's going to let you see the places or where you learn to disconnect in connection. But it's also going to help you see why certain rules you have in connection show up. When we experience connection coming into this world, we don't have a choice but to love the person we're connected to. So then we try to fight that when this connection shows up. And that's really going to be a whole story, a whole space in there where somebody's going to take the time to let you speak in a space you just never spoke to. And that really, I think, helps a lot in this connection and helps really understand each other, because you open up that door, not realizing that that's a door where you could actually get rid of some judgments you've had, get rid of some hangups you've had, get rid of some rejections or some abandonments you've had. So it's
this connection is all about you, right? It's all about you. And impromptu, on a side note, if you've heard about root camp, if you're interested in root camp, let's just do something silly.
Okay.
Let's run a mini 4-session root camp.
Now,
right?
now, know this. Root camp is not a group of people.
Not a group of people. It's you and us.
It's a coach in you. It's us and you. We become mommy and daddy or whatever. We go in and we literally get to hear your voice. And we're searching for the inner child that knows how to love without condition, without anything. We're looking for that child, and that child that's never spoken.
Oh, we found it. We find them.
Oh, easily.
Actually,
I think we find them in the very first.
In the very first one.
Even in a free 30-minute session, we pull that out. And if you've ever done that with us, you know that we have to get there to help you see maybe how you can bury yourself in connection. Let's
do that, but let's do the 4 sessions different than we normally do. Let's do it 3 sessions in a row, like 1 week, 1 week, 1 week, and then the 4th, like a little bit, like a month later.
30 days later.
Yeah,
absolutely.
so we can check, so we can see the difference.
Yes.
And let's cut it in half, because root camp's $1,000. Let's do it for $500.
We'll do it for $5.
Do it for $5.
If you're interested, if
you're watching this video, get in on it.
Just put Lee Sherry, or just put
info@relationshipreinvented.com video special.
Or if you go to the website,
or you comment here, we'll comment back. So let's get past the
let's because we had other questions. But yes, that's a good deal.
I know, I did that all by myself.
That's
pretty proud of me.
Okay.
And if, by the way, if you have been through root camp and you're in this chat, let them know in this chat what root camp did for you.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay. I was wondering, let's see. I met my twin in 2009, dated for 2 years. I ran because he was having a baby. I met a soulmate and was together for 4 years. I left because my soul was empty. Spent 2 years with me and reconnected.
First of all, the fact that he had a baby is intriguing to me, because women are supposed to do that. Sorry.
Well,
but she said he had a baby.
Well, you got pregnant and had a baby.
No, he had a baby.
Oh, but oh, yeah.
I'm just joking. I threw a little humor.
Email us and tell us about
I'd like to see pictures of that right there.
No, you're right.
Yeah, you guys watch pictures of us pushing a watermelon out of a pie hole all the time.
But here's some synchronicity. I keep seeing people put these two together.
Right.
And this is probably within the last 7 days. I would tell you twice a day I'm seeing the same 2 words show up in a sentence.
Which are?
Soul and empty.
Really?
Yeah. So here's the thing. Your soul was empty. Somebody poured a human into that. So, I mean, the energy just literally goes. So know that when you're empty again, it's like going and finding a new cup or filling it with what you want to fill it with. It's up to you whether or not you want to pour some of those contents out or whether you want to keep those contents in. Either way, your job is to make sure that it tastes good for you. So be okay with emptiness. I think we make emptiness into such a bad thing, but everything we ever do when it comes to nurturing our bodies, being here on this planet, we have to go get an empty cup. We have to have an empty plate. We have to have all of these things, and we fill it with what we want, and then we go ahead and put that in there. At some point, you never just go and find a cup that's full and drink from it. And if you don't like the way it tastes, you end up pouring it out to make it empty. So sometimes emptiness is not the bad thing we keep making it out to be. And I believe that's the message that I keep seeing in dreams, but just the fact that those keep showing up in the same two places, maybe we need to start looking at that differently.
Mm-hmm.
It might not be a bad thing.
How do we express our needs without being needy? Communication, communication, communication. Here's my take on this. If I say to you one time, right, the first time, I really, really, really am struggling with initiating affection, right? Mm-hmm. I want affection. I want to be affectionate, right? Mm-hmm. But I need you to initiate the affection, right? Mm-hmm. And I've expressed to you my needs at that point, right?
Right.
Now you can take those words. Mm-hmm. You can be like, okay, she's telling me what she needs. I'll try to do that. Right. And then you come to me that night, I'm going to be like, oh, it's because I said something. Right. This isn't real. Mm-hmm. Right. Or if you come to me 2 or 3 nights later and you just hug me or hold me, right? Or if we're walking through the kitchen and you grab me and turn me around and kiss me, right? I'm going to be receptive to that. Right. But if you don't, then to me, it's going to build up as rejection because I told you what I needed from you.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
And what happens is then we build it up. I told him what I needed. He's not giving it. He's not giving it. He's not giving it. Okay, he gave it once. He's still not giving it. Gave it a little bit again. Still not giving it. Still not giving it. Still not giving it. Still not giving it. Oh, I gave it to me yesterday. Giving it to the point where the top blows off, right? And I come to you with, all you've done is reject me. You touched me at 3:45, at 6:10, and at 9:15, and that was all throughout the whole day, right? Exaggerating here, but you know what I'm saying.
No, I understand.
I've expressed to you my needs.
Right.
It's up to the other person to hear it.
Mm.
We had a conversation a while back with me not feeling like I was being heard. I understand that you listened, right? Listening and hearing are two different things. So when we sat down and we had that talk, right, and you shut up. Because in conflict, what happens is we tend to want to talk over each other, get our point across. Yeah. Well, you did this. Well, you did this. Mm-hmm. And then it starts to get hateful, right? Mm-hmm. You did this. You did this. You did this. And then when somebody says, well, they're coming back with a counteract. Yep. So it turns into a big argument, a big conflict. Mm-hmm. It's when someone's sitting down and you're just vomiting at the mouth. Right? Things that are here, that are sitting on your chest, mm-hmm. and I just straight went on and on and on and on and on and on and on. You to what all that was empty, and I filled it with me, me, because all the yous were out.
Right.
Well, you don't. Here's the thing with and we even do this a lot where. You always go on about what I'm not doing, but there's not enough voice for what you do.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So there's so much that you do. Mm-hmm. If I mentioned everything that you did that was positive, good, that I loved, I would spend all day doing that. And what happens is there's just way more that don't bother me versus the things that aren't getting done. Gotcha. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So then you focus on that, right? So the answer to that question is clear, concise communication.
Yes.
Right? And sometimes you may have to look this person in the eye and say, please let me tell you what I need from you. And it may be uncomfortable for you, but I need this from you.
But I want to ask a question to this person who asked this question. Because the question reads, how do we express our needs without being needy? Did you notice that you judged your needs? You even called yourself needy.
What she said, without being.
But what I'm trying to get you to see is that that's not really opening up to your needs and really accepting what you need and accepting what you want. You're coming in with an energy that's already being rejected by you. How's that going to fulfill a need?
Right.
Do you see what I'm saying? Because when I read it, I was like, how do we express our needs without being needy? Literally, we look at needy.
Mm-hmm.
You're judging what you need.
Yeah.
And you're judging how you would approach it already before you even get there. So the other person is going to have to give you what you're giving, which is already telling yourself that you're needy. But if you just drop the neediness or feel that you want to attack yourself prior and just go in and just explain what you need or just open up with what you need, that will probably get them more fulfilled than saying they're probably going to think I'm needy, because that's already giving the other person permission to judge you because you just judged yourself first. Does that make sense?
Very much so. And if you're needing more communication, more text, I'm only saying this because we absolutely know this person who it just hit me when I looked at when I saw who it was.
Yeah.
I love you so much. That's not ours, is it?
I don't know.
Okay. You're going to have to get clear and concise. When I text you, I need you, so I'm not feeling, or I need more communication with you because I'm feeling. I need. Now, if you only say that once, right, you've expressed your needs.
Mm.
It's up to that other person to, is it?
Yeah.
It's not till tomorrow. There's all kinds of balls and hockey pucks in the yard.
They seem to go ahead and everything.
I'm going to shut windows.
Yeah. We can finish saying what you said.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll come back to that.
I'm going to shut windows so we can hear.
Yeah, because the lawnmower's going to be loud. Let's see. With my TF 9 months ago, we speak all the time and everything, but he's still with his karmic and leaving that situation. Now what? I'm in a good space. This, as always, I think for us, we've always kind of asked one question. When we find that somebody says they have this connection, we say, okay, who showed up right now? Would you be somebody who already has every door open and says, come on in? Or would you be somebody who still has one door, maybe a few doors closed on the inside, if you were a house that they weren't allowed in? Because what's going to happen is you're going to guard those doors, and next thing you know, who you want to be for them is going to have somewhat of a closed aspect of them, which is going to reject you. So how do you go in and actually make sure that that's the space that you're calling good? All of it is good. Everything you've been through is good. So how do you make sure that all those doors are open? And that points to acceptance and non-acceptance of you to help bring those things out. Sorry. Let's see. I'm scrolling down to see what the other question is. I think, this person asked the same question we started with.
I forgot to shut the window.
That's okay. Do you know the meaning? Oh, we did answer the seeing their name all over the place. I think we just answered that.
Yeah, we did. Let's see what's next. He's closing windows so you can hear. There it is.
Sorry about that, guys.
Let's see. I'm lost.
Okay, we were here. Let's see. Love y'all. What if your twin is in the public eye? Ooh,
we deal with this all the time.
Yeah, we get a lot of
All the
questions.
time.
We get people on the opposite side of the spectrum. People
That are in the public eye.
and then they talk about it, but
Yeah.
it's really hidden. It's really interesting how we believe that there's an aspect of somebody being in the public eye versus them not being.
Yeah.
And those people don't see it that way. They just see
but
it.
they
as-
still have the same feelings.
They have the same hangups on both sides.
on both sides.
So it's quite
We,
interesting.
we,
So
we have very, very famous clients who happen to be like in a group or in our group, and they have and they'll watch them for like 6 months, and they'll contact us and say, can you tell me a little bit more about? I don't know. We don't know. But, here's the thing. It depends on, getting to your question, it kind of depends on, are you in communication with them? Or is this someone that you're connected to that you don't have physical communication with, just some spiritual communication with? That it's two completely different scenarios. So if they're in the public eye, and so if they're in the public eye and you're not so much, and you have a big Mike, and you have a physical relationship with that person, or a more of a 3D relationship with that person, or you're in a twin flame situation with that person, it's completely different than if there's someone that you're not talking to. So there's two different ways to handle it. So we're kind of need some more information on that. So because there's a little bit more.
There's more to that story.
There's more to that.
I met my twin 3 years ago, and this is the first time I felt disconnected from my twin. Is it possible the connection comes back? Every other separation, I still felt connection.
Well, I'm going to give my opinion on this. The connection never goes away. I don't feel like the connection's ever gone. Now, I will touch on this. When we had our last separation, I was still connected to you, clearly. I'm always going to be connected to you. I just had to accept the fact that we were never going to be together.
Mm-hmm.
So I was able to move on and have a relationship with somebody else, knowing that I could never have union with someone else. But I could still be connected to you and still be with somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
I think for me in that separation though, I knew how to be connected to you, but be disconnected.
Yeah.
Because it's something that you actually learn. It's something that's already in you. You just have to go find out how you got there. So
right.
if you're wondering, is it possible for it to come back? There's something in you that learned how to disconnect from connection. And that's what's actually being brought out of you. And it's a numb feeling, or it's a feeling that you know who you are when you're disconnected versus you know who you are when you're connected. Interesting
thing is, when we first met in 2005, and after we had slept together and you left for those 2 years,
yes.
And we didn't even know what a twin flame was or what the connection was, I still felt you. And we didn't have any conversations. We didn't have any emails back. For 2 years, we had absolutely no communication, none. But you were still here, right?
Mm.
You were still present in me. There was a disconnection, a physical disconnection, but there was something stirring. There was still something stirring. Like I was looking forward to the day that you would resurface, or the time that you would resurface.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I hope that helped. I don't know if it did or
not. It dropped down.
Oh, boy.
Let me come back up. Hold up. Sorry. Okay. What advice would you give someone like me who is new to twin flame? That's why I asked about the signs.
First of all, let me hit you with this. Be very careful. And I know you found us by searching twin flames on the internet. Be very careful. There's a lot of misinformation out there. There's a lot of other belief systems. I don't know what your belief system is. I just know what ours is. That doesn't mean their opinions are right or wrong. It just means there's a lot of different information out there. Be very careful. Stay away from sort of the mystic stuff right now. The cord cutting crap, the spells, the crystals, and the chants, all the things that all the propaganda that you're going to get. Keep it simple, simple, simple. You're connected to someone else on a spiritual level, right? Keep it as simple as you can, because all this preloaded information is going to make it even more confusing than it already is.
Look,
keep it simple.
I would say just really kind of clarify what she's saying. Look for information, or look for things that point you back inside yourself.
Yes.
Because if you're going to find information that's going to point to the other person's supposed to bring you this, the other person's going to give you that, the other person's going to, that's a whole lot of responsibility to put on that other person. And they'll run from you immediately. They will disconnect from you immediately. And you, that's going to be able to help you see some answers to this, to help you understand how deep this connection can be. Because the connection is about your depth, not theirs. That would be what I would.
Very much so.
Yeah.
We'll take a couple more, and then we don't want, to take
We gotta go
an
over to the
hour
group
or
and
somebody's
say hi,
day. We're going to go over to our group, and then we're going to say hi over there.
Let's see. My twin came back after 6 years once I disconnected from him, had other experiences and focused on myself. I never thought or wanted to be back with him. I think that was more of a statement. Oh, that was over the one that we were talking about earlier, right?
Yeah. To the person that says that they're interested in root camp, email us at info@relationshipreinvented.com. Let's set you up for a free 30 minutes and let's talk to you about it.
Yeah, there were 2 emails that came already.
Okay.
Married my TF, but after 5 years, we are separated and they ran to soulmate. Will they be aware of the TF and come back? My TF don't know we are TFs. Okay, so I guess my question would be, how did you tell them that you felt connected to them? And if you didn't tell them, isn't that rejecting them? It's really hard to go up. Like when she came at me, we're twin flames. And if I go and I research that and I find something that tells me that I'm supposed to be everything for you and you're now whole because of me being in your life and you're going to be happy and you're going to be blissful and all those things, and I don't have that in me, I probably will shut down. But if you say, hey, I have a connection to you on the inside, I can feel you in here. That, I think, when you said that to me, that opened me up more, because I was like, well, what do you mean by that? Because it was almost like we actually get to share our experiences of what this connection is with each other. And it's really hard because you want to approach this and kind of point to what this is, but you're not pointing to what it is to you on the inside first. And not what we're supposed to be connecting with in the first place.
Mm.
I think for a while there, it's easy for us to have this label or have what this connection really kind of says or what the connection is. But when I tell her things that on the inside of me, I can feel when I'm with her, when I'm not with her, when I'm starting to share those things, you look at me like, oh, this is real. I mean, this is a real thing. This isn't something that we go out and search and find out what everybody else's description is. This is a real thing that we're sharing, a real thing that we're discussing. And if you're not doing that, how does this person know how you really feel? And if they don't know how you really feel, do you consider that rejection?
Mm.
Because you really kind of rejected you and them without even knowing you did that. I don't know. It could be different for you, but I would say start there. If you're looking for whether or not they're going to come back and you never opened up to tell them how really deeply you felt connected to them, now, if they were with you a period of time, they might have, and you didn't share that, what did you show them?
Right.
What did you let them see about you that was real to them? Because sometimes this connection can really be, you could wear like 25 masks and only one of them is the one that breaks all the masks. So,
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh,
You want to do one more?
Yeah.
Let's see. Still focused on loving myself for me, not for twin. I'm at peace now and love my life, though not physically with twin. Never was ever with anyone else. Just me time for 8 years. It's a beautiful thing. That is wonderful.
That's awesome. So what if she completely ignores me, but we went through all of the stages up to the separation?
Can I?
Yes, please.
So let me
And
make
I have
sure.
something to say.
Yeah, I would like to ask, on the inside, are there things in this connection and didn't say anything to, because this is definitely being reflected back to you. If you don't understand that, there is a deeper way you can actually see that. Just, we do offer a free 30 minutes if you want to talk. We can listen to a little bit, or actually we listen to a very deep level right off the bat, so don't get it twisted. But
we can probably get you in this afternoon.
Yeah, if you want to talk to us, we'll definitely be able to help. So you can understand that sometimes when we ignore part of ourselves in this connection, The other person ignores us until we figure that out. So how are you communicating, how you open up, how you even let them in? Sometimes you may not let them in certain spaces and they actually find that that's rejection and they end up just kind of shutting down on you until you figure it out. This connection opens 25,000 doors on the planet, and especially the planet called you. So if you want those doors to be open, you're going to have to figure out where you may be ignoring yourself. So, did I take a break?
It happens.
Well, we're playing.
Let's see, one more.
Let's see. I'm not running. It's about time. That was this the other person. That all break connection, even when out of country 2 months, and evidence of connection was so real and powerful. I could not deny it. So stop running.
We need to get rid of that.
oh, dude, how big? No.
No.
Oh, I like where you
gotta go.
Oh, it's gonna it's gonna get dark.
That's
in
not
here.
nice.
No,
come on.
Oh, come on. It's not a family show. Let's see.
I mean, I can answer that for you, but you don't want the answer.
Let's see. I have a connection with a man. We met traveling Southeast Asia. I just met him again in northern Vietnam. Wow. What if we talk about the synchronicities? I'm convinced that it's best to move forward. What advice do you have for me? Well, number one, how did you both, did you even know that either one of you was going to end up from one location to the next? I mean, that's Asia's huge, Southeast. And then you go to little old Vietnam and run. I would love to hear your story. Please email. I'm interested in hear that.
Thank you for that.
Give you some advice.
Yeah, I'd like to too. Thank you for that review of Root Camp right there.
Root Camp changes everything, your life, relationships, but most important, connection to self. It gives you self-love. They are truly gifted coaches. Oh, well, thank you. That hurt my heart. And helped open my heart at the same time. It is about the connection to yourself.
Root Camp's powerful. I don't want to pat my own back or our backs, but it is powerful. It's changing lives out there. I love it.
I love the fact that we get the opportunity to really fall in love with someone and see their connection to themselves and help them see it and ask them questions that really kind of help them connect the dots to understand what's coming out in this connection. So it's a beautiful program. It's something that we've done thousands of, and it's really a very deep thing, but it's very, very beautiful, very, very powerful. And we have people who've done it long term as well. So it's a beautiful thing. If you're really wanting to get to the root of your connection, you got to get to the root of the connection you have to yourself. So on that night,
we'll any other questions? However, we're here now. We're getting ready to go live in our Facebook group. That is Twin Flame Work Group by Relationship Reinvented. It's there.
And that is about the self, the connection.
The group's great because you can join the group, and it's all about twin flames. And we have great coaches who are in the group and who will answer your questions. And Lee and I are in there. We try to come in daily and answer some questions. Lee's way more better about it than I am. But I'm always from time to time. Here's
of course, it's the door.
We will talk to you soon.
See ya.